Mark enjoys gardening a lot, and one day as he took care of his flower bed, he discovered a shining, strange-looking coin. He saw unique drawings and writings on it as he gave it a closer look, hinting that it might have an intriguing backstory. Mark requested an expert who is very knowledgeable in historical objects. But when the expert saw the coin, his eyes widened and he muttered stutteringly, "This can't be true." But before we start, make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Mark had not taken his eye off the coin he had found multiple hours ago by now. He had never seen anything like this before, and when he started searching online, he also came up with nothing at all. For now, Mark decided to let his find rest for a little while. He put the coin into his safe and decided that he would try and visit some antique shops on the weekend, which was still a couple of days away. In the middle of the night, Mark shot up out of bed when he heard some strange sounds coming from his garden. It sounded like someone was digging. There was a person in his garden who looked up in complete shock when Mark's flashlight was aimed at him. Most of his roses were tossed to the side and the ground was a mess. When he screamed at the man, demanding an explanation, he started to run away. The man was faster than Mark was, but luckily for him, there were a couple of other people still on the streets. Mark started screaming that somebody needed to stop that man, that he had destroyed his property. They decided to grab the person who had destroyed his roses. The man struggled, but soon realized that he could not get away. Why the hell was he bigging up his flower bed? Then Mark saw that the man was actually more like a boy, not a day older than 16. He looked as scared as could be and was begging for forgiveness. He was just following orders. What was this boy talking about? Mark told him that he was not going to hurt him or press charges as long as he promised to cooperate and not run away. The boy agreed, and the two men let him go. They sat down on a bench together, and Mark asked the boy to explain everything. The boy started telling Mark that he was living in the poorest neighborhood of the city, and that this evening a rich-looking man had come by to ask if somebody wanted to do a job for him. He was offering a decent sum of money, and so he simply could not resist. All the man had told him was to go to his address and dig up the bed of roses. If he found any coins there, then the boy needed to contact him again. Otherwise, he would just send him the money anyway. It was a no-brainer. There was only one person whom he had told about the fact that he had found the coin in his flower bed. The expert who had sounded interested but eventually did not want to help him. This had to be the man who gave the boy the assignment. Tapping into his network of friends and acquaintances, Mark began his hunt for this mysterious expert. A few names repeatedly came up as renowned local historians and collectors. Most were innocuous, but one in particular stood out. Dr. Samuel Bennett, a name Mark vaguely remembered from their phone call. Further research led Mark to an intriguing revelation. Dr. Bennett was associated with the city's most prestigious history museum. A realization struck him. Could the museum itself be linked to the coin? Mark's decision was made. He would confront Dr. Bennett directly. The next day, he neatly dressed, taking the coin with him, safely nestled in a small velvet pouch. Thoughts swirled in his mind. Their eyes met, tension palpable. "Dr. Bennett," Mark began, tone accusatory, "we need to talk." The expert hesitated, looking cornered. "Mr. Mark, isn't it?" he replied with feigned casualness. "I'm not sure what you're referring to. I speak with many people about many things. Have you come to admire our newest exhibit?" Mark's patience thinned. "Don't play games with me. You know exactly what I'm talking about." Dr. Bennett's evasiveness only fueled Mark's determination. Mark took a breath, laying out the chain of events. The unexpected phone call, the interest in the coin, the boy's intrusion into his garden. With each detail, Dr. Bennett's face tightened, his discomfort evident. "How can you explain this?" Mark finally demanded. The weight of evidence was too much. Dr. Bennett sighed, his shoulders drooping. "All right," he conceded. "I may know more than I've let on, but it's not what you think." Mark braced himself for a confession. Instead, Dr. Bennett surprised him. "How about a collaboration?" he proposed. "Your discovery, my expertise. Together we might unravel a mystery bigger than either of us imagined." Mark was taken aback. "Why should I trust you?" he asked, suspicion evident in his tone. Dr. Bennett replied, "Because, Mark, while our introductions may have been less than ideal, our goals are aligned." The museum's ambient noise faded as Mark considered the offer. Mark extended a cautious hand. "All right, Dr. Bennett, we collaborate. But at the first sign of deception, our deal is off. Together, they began their search, keenly aware that the key to the coin's past was hidden somewhere amongst these pages. Amongst the findings, they unearthed maps with cryptic symbols, manuscripts with coded languages, and clues that painted an incomplete picture. Each piece hinted at various sites throughout the city that begged to be explored. News of their treasure hunt spread like wildfire through the city. Reporters, intrigued by this blend of modern adventure and ancient lore, began shadowing their every move. Amidst a pile of old books in the city's historical library, Mark's fingers brushed against a leather-bound manuscript. Dated back several centuries, it detailed an event where the city's elite buried a trove to protect it from invaders. Could this be a link to the treasure? The enigma of the medallion began to unravel slowly, its pieces intertwining with the manuscript and other clues, pointing them towards their next destination. Guided by their revised leads, they were led to a dilapidated statue in a forgotten garden. Hidden within its base, Mark's fingers grasped another coin. Each coin not only represented a piece of the city's enigmatic past, but also drew more attention to their quest. As Mark keenly examined the second coin, he tried to engage Dr. Bennett in its potential history. However, the expert seemed oddly evasive, hesitating to dive deep into its origins. Each question Mark posed was met with vague responses or diversions. Unable to contain his frustration, Mark confronted Dr. Bennett. "Why won't you discuss this coin? What are you hiding?" he demanded. The atmosphere grew thick with tension. Mark questioned the expert's true motives, while Dr. Bennett defensively guarded his own reasons. Taking a moment to reflect, they acknowledged their individual apprehensions and committed to open communication. They decided to proceed with a renewed sense of partnership. Ancient records, faded maps, and oral tales led them through streets, buildings, and landmarks that echoed stories from epochs gone by. Their search introduced them to Miss Loretta, a local historian with knowledge of the city's underground network. "Seek the vault beneath the old council building," she advised. Intrigued, Mark and Dr. Bennett prepared to descend into the city's subterranean heart, hopeful of the secrets it might unveil. Glancing sideways at Dr. Bennett, his unease about the historian's motivations resurfaced. Could he truly trust the man beside him when they were on the brink of potential discovery? The vault creaked open, revealing not the shimmer of gold or glint of jewels, but rather stacks upon stacks of yellowed documents, dusty books, and worn photographs. Both men were momentarily disappointed, but quickly realized they had unearthed a treasure trove of historical artifacts, each one potentially holding keys to the past. While rummaging through the trove, Mark's fingers brushed against a metallic disc. Pulling it out, he discovered another Soviet coin. Unlike the others, this one was intricately designed, with symbols and inscriptions foreign to him. "No more secrets," Mark asserted, holding the coin up to Dr. Bennett. "You knew something like this was here, didn't you?" Bennett finally nodded. He had hoped to protect Mark from certain truths, but the time for revelations had undeniably come. Hesitantly, Dr. Bennett began his tale, revealing the coin's dark history. It wasn't just a relic, but a token from covert operations during the tensest periods of the Cold War. Agents, he explained, used these unique coins as identification and for communication. Mark's hands trembled as he scanned the old deeds and property records of his land. It turned out that his current residence was once owned by a prominent strategist during the Cold War era. Dr. Bennett elaborated on the unique role these coins played. They weren't mere tokens of wealth or simple currency. Instead, they were clandestinely exchanged between operatives, serving as both payment and proof of identity. Their intricate designs weren't just artistic endeavors, they were carefully crafted codes, making them unmistakable to agents, yet seemingly ordinary to anyone else. While Mark was elated to have uncovered such a monumental piece of the past, he also recognized the danger. Over cups of strong coffee, the duo debated their next steps. "This is bigger than both of us," Mark confessed. Dr. Bennett, despite his earlier reservations, agreed. They realized that history, with all its shadows and intrigues, deserved to be known. Determined, they chose to shine a light on this long-hidden chapter of the Cold War. Working tirelessly, they compiled a comprehensive report detailing the coins, their origins, and the broader historical context. With anticipation building, they scheduled a press conference, eager to share their profound findings with a world that deserved to know. The news broke like wildfire. Every major news outlet, from television stations to renowned newspapers, covered Mark and Dr. Bennett's astonishing discovery. In the glare of camera flashes and amidst a sea of microphones, Mark glanced over at Dr. Bennett. Their journey had been fraught with mistrust and tension, but adversity had forged a bond. They had started as skeptical strangers and emerged as partners in discovery. "We did it," Mark whispered, earning a nod of agreement from the once mysterious expert. The museum, where their quest had taken a significant turn, now became the permanent home of the coins and historical documents. A special exhibit was curated, allowing the public to immerse themselves in the intrigue of yesteryears. Outside the museum, as the sun began its descent, Mark and Dr. Bennett exchanged heartfelt goodbyes. Their paths, once so intertwined, were now leading them in different directions.